Hello and welcome to Newsroom Charcha, HW News' podcast show, a show that's been pretty much in demand, as Sujit puts it to us. And now we decided that, okay, let's come together. Let's, along with the colleagues and the newsroom at HW News, we'll come together hopefully every week and discuss some of the issues that are trending. So, for the first episode of season 2, as you can put it, we have with us our managing editor Sujit Nair. Hello, Sujit.
Hi.
We have Shashank Nair from HW News Network. Hi, Shashank.
Hi, Shubham.
We have Saniya Patel. You must have seen Saniya.
He has to say in Hindi.
Oh, yes.
In Hindi. So speak in Hindi. How can you say it in English?
So,
Yeah?
Namaskar.
Namaskar.
Shashank is here. We have Saniya Patel. You must have seen Saniya on the Hindi and English platform both. Hello, Saniya.
Hello, namaste.
And making his debut in front of the camera / podcast is Jash Hirani. Hello, Jash.
There's no camera.
Oh, so on the
There's only
podcast, on the channel.
Yeah, sir.
On
In the
channel.
camera is just show. It is not real.
Okay.
वो नहीं
So,
होता है, yeah.
I stand corrected. Making his debut on the podcast is Jash Hirani. Hello, Jash.
Hi, Shubham. Hello.
Now, for those who just a bit of background about Jash, the editorials you see, the shows we do, Jash is literally the backbone of those shows because he provides us the research, the numbers, the data, the statistics, everything that you see on editorial on our shows, he is the guy.
So people abusing me, please abuse him also.
Oh, yes.
Because I am not the only one who is making that point. He is making me do that point.
Yes. So Jash, we insisted, we ensured that Jash comes to the podcast and he puts forth his point of view because, mind you, he has a lot to say in the newsroom. So we decided might as well channelize it into this podcast. So, okay, where do we start? We have a couple of topics to discuss and we'll keep it light, we'll keep it casuals. Suri, where do we start? We start with Parliament?
Yeah, let's start with Parliament. Or should we, as always, ask Mr.
Shashank Nair
to take the first lead because that is what he does,
voluntarily
or involuntarily.
किस मुद्दे?
No, you don't have to really ask him in Hindi. I mean, he will do that at the honors.
नहीं पार्लियामेंट से ही शुरू करते क्योंकि मॉनसून सत्र चल रहा है, काफी इंटरेस्टिंग समय चल रहा है. राहुल गांधी नए अंदाज में नजर आ रहे हैं, सुजीत जी.
तो
क्या नया
अंदाज?
एकदम एग्रेसिव और एक तरफ वो पार्लियामेंट में एग्रेशन से बोलते हैं खड़े होके और दूसरी तरफ वो कभी कॉबलर कम्युनिटी से मिल रहे हैं, कभी फार्मर्स से मिल रहे हैं. तो दोनों साइड जो है, एक तरफ एंग्री यंग मैन है और एक तरफ जो है वो एकदम मतलब नायक टाइप कैरेक्टर नजर आ रहा है राहुल गांधी का. तो मतलब कैसा, आप इसको किस तरीके से रीड करते हैं?
नायक एकदम टोटल. No, I think what is interesting is कि ये जो इस बार का जो गवर्नमेंट है, इस बार का जो पार्लियामेंट है, जो हमने बोला था शुभम, आप और हम, जब we were doing our live, we said that the numbers that we see in our screen is a sign of a good democracy and that is actually showing in the parliament. और आपका नायक और young angry man and all का सवाल है वो, the point is I think ऐसा लग रहा है, which is kind of strange, but ऐसा लग रहा है कि गवर्नमेंट ऑपोजिशन है और ऑपोजिशन गवर्नमेंट है, बिकॉज जलवा पूरा जो है वो ऑपोजिशन का चल रहा है. बात पूरी ऑपोजिशन की हो रही है. प्राइम मिनिस्टर आके बोलता है कि भाई मुझे बात करने का वक्त नहीं मिलता, मुझे मेरा वॉइस स्टाइफल कर रहा है कि और एंड ऑपोजिशन सीम्स टू बी रॉक स्टार. वो मतलब एवरी पर्सन. और एक बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग चीज़ है जो आई थिंक, प्लीज ओपिनियन, गिव मी योर ओपिनियन जश ऑन दिस. आई थिंक एक इंटरेस्टिंग चीज़ जो बहुत पॉजिटिव है वो यंग एमपीज जो है, young MPs, I think they are speaking very, very well.
Abhishek Banerjee.
All of them. Why only Abhishek Banerjee? All of them. I think everybody, young MPs, spoke the best. उन्होंने पॉइंट पे बात किया, उन्होंने एक्चुअल मुद्दे पे बात किया, ना कि ये जो फिजूल के मुद्दे हुआ करते थे, ऐसा नहीं किया. उन्होंने एक्चुअल मुद्दे पे बात किया, बजट पे बात किया, ग्रोथ पे बात किया, फार्मर्स पे बात किया. जो यंग, आई थिंक दैट इज अ वेरी गुड साइन फॉर इंडिया. मुझे लगता है द बेस्ट that I see in the parliament is the fact that ये young जो MPs है, regardless of whichever political party, young MPs ने बहुत अच्छा बात किया है. I think that's fabulous.
No, but then this something I want just to come in on this. like Sujit said, young MPs bhi hai, and it's something that we're seeing Parliament come alive in more ways than one. The opposition is at the government's throat. We've also seen a lot of walkouts. The opposition is saying ki you don't listen to what we want to say. So last time you suspended us altogether. Now we are 234. So we'll still ensure that our voices are heard. So do you agree ki walking out won't be the best possible strategy for the opposition in Parliament? Because at the end of it, nothing really is being achieved.
नहीं, अभी क्या है, इनके पास पहले तो अभी उस टाइम पे नंबर था नहीं, तो सुनने के लिए मतलब बोलने के लिए उतना उनके पास स्ट्रेंथ नहीं था. उनको जैसे तैसे करके सस्पेंड वगैरह तो कर ही रहे थे. अभी उनके पास नंबर है तो अभी वॉकआउट करके कोई पॉइंट नहीं है. हल्ला गुल्ला करो ना तुम लोग. वेल में लास्ट टाइम जब पीएम ने जो स्पीच दी थी स्पेशल सेशन में, वो लोग वेल में आके चिल्ला रहे, बोलने नहीं दे रहे, बहुत मीडिया कवरेज सब हुआ था उसका. तो आप आइए, आपने फिर से राज्यसभा में वॉकआउट कर दिया जब भी प्राइम मिनिस्टर सर बोल रहे थे, आपने फिर से वॉकआउट कर लिया. सच्चा आके आप बोलिए, आपकी आवाज रखे, आपको सुनने के लिए तो लोग हैं ही यहाँ पे. लेकिन आप वॉकआउट अभी भी आप चूज कर रहे हो वॉकआउट करने के लिए. लेकिन ये आप कर्नाटका असेंबली में देखिए, लोग असेंबली में सो रहे, असेंबली में लिटरली सो रहे. विपक्ष हो तो ऐसा हो कि आप पूरे दमखम के साथ अपना आप बुलंद आवाज में आप बात कीजिए. वॉकआउट करके कोई पॉइंट नहीं है.
Saniya, you agree with walkout? Like, should opposition MPs just walk out because saying कि हमारा demand नहीं meet हुआ है?
No, I do not agree with it all. You should sit, listen what everyone is trying to say at that point of moment, and walkout कोई reason नहीं है बाहर जाने का पार्लियामेंट से.
I think it's the walkout, Sujit. I think it stems from the fact that that's the last resort. And like just talked about the chaos, na? Well, mein you have people coming into people saying.
I think we'll have to look at it from two perspectives. Okay, perspective one is from a democratic perspective. Yeah, walkout is not a good thing. Fair enough. But you should also look at it from that same democratic perspective as to the way the chair is conducting it himself. I mean, possibly we are the only country where the chair, the speaker sits and says that, "Arey, tumhare government ne kya kiya? What did Congress government do for 10 years?" Have you ever seen a parliament, a democratic parliament, where the chairman, where the speaker says this? So, end of the day, what are you saying? You are walking out not because of the government. You are walking out because the chair, the parliament, the person who is supposed to run the parliament is acting unfair.
सर लेकिन इसमें वो सकम नहीं हो रहे. मतलब आप समझो, एक थोड़ा सा पुश किया ऑपोजिशन को चुप रहने के लिए, तो फिर आप सीधा वॉकआउट करो. मतलब आप फाइट करो ना. देखो
ऐसी बात है ना जश, आई एम नॉट डिस्प्यूटिंग टू व्हाट यू आर सेइंग. मैं आप डिफर नहीं कर रहा हूँ, बट पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू ये है कि हर एक तरह का एक एग्रेशन को एक रिस्पॉन्स होता है. ओके, एक गवर्नमेंट वर्सेस ऑपोजिशन के एग्रेशन में एक रिस्पॉन्स होता है जो उन लोग कर रहे हैं. दे आर कमिंग आउट इन द वेल, दे आर शाउटिंग, दे आर हाउलिंग, एवरीथिंग, ऑल ऑफ दैट दे आर डूइंग. The reason the way they walked out of Nirmala Sitharaman's answer, I thought that was not called for. They should have waited. They should have heard her out, or at least, whatever. They should have allowed her to give an answer. I agree to that. But the fact remains that when it comes to the chair, what else do you do? You see, what happens is frustration की एक सीमा होती है. You see, when you are frustrated to beyond a point, you can't do a thing. I mean, what are you talking about? The chair sits there and acts completely one-sided. The chair is sitting there and talking like a member of a political party rather than being a constitutional authority. And that too, the chair of a parliament. You know what that means? The person has more power than the prime minister. In that room,
he's not being neutral effectively.
He's been openly not neutral. The fact that what Rahul Gandhi said, I agree. He almost bent to Om Birla, bent to the Prime Minister. No, that is not fair. Chief Justice of India cannot come and touch the Prime Minister's feet, even if the Prime Minister is 140-year-old, because that's the seat he is occupying, and that's the seat of the Chief Justice of India. So there is a protocol for the seat that you occupy. There is a protocol for the seat that you occupy. When you wear a uniform, there is a protocol. When you're wearing a uniform, either you're an army officer or a police officer, there is a protocol you have to follow. There is certain decorum that you have to follow. Is that chair following the decorum? And that's the question. If the chair is not following the decorum, what will the opposition do? The opposition can combat the government. Opposition cannot combat the chair.
इस पे सर अभिषेक बैनर्जी ने भी एक पॉइंट बोला था. अभिषेक बैनर्जी जब डिमोनेटाइजेशन पे बात कर रहे थे तो अपने ओम बिरला जी कह रहे थे कि नहीं आप बैठिए वहाँ पे, आप बात क्यों 5 साल पुरानी बात वापस निकाल रहे हो. तो अभिषेक बैनर्जी बोल रहे थे कि आप इमरजेंसी के बारे में बात कर रहे हो, 50 साल पहले की बात कर रहे हो, तभी आप कुछ नहीं कह रहे हो. लेकिन अभी आप जब डिमोनेटाइजेशन पे बोल रहे हो, तो हम जब डिमोनेटाइजेशन पे जब हम बोल रहे हैं तो आप कह रहे हो कि आप इतनी पुरानी बात मत निकालो.
Correct, absolutely correct.
My favorite moment is, if for our audience, I'm sure many of you keep watching the snippets we put out from the Parliament proceedings in the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. In fact, the neutrality point that Sujit was talking about, I believe it's also equally, if not more applicable to Mr. Jagdeep Dhankar, who's the Vice President of India. He's the chairman in the Rajya Sabha, and you can clearly see that the chair is not acting in the most unbiased.
In the most? In the most? Hello?
He's acting in the most biased way.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, so, but I think my favorite moment, it is a lighter moment, but a couple of days back, Mr. Manish Tiwari of the Congress Party is MP from Chandigarh. He stood up in Lok Sabha in the question hour, and he asked a question to Manohar Lal Khattar. Now, Mr. Khattar, he's the former Chief Minister of Haryana, and he's the Minister of Power in the government. He asked something about, I don't remember the exact words, but he asked something which was pertaining to Mr. Khattar's ministry. Mr. Khattar stood up. He said, he gave his answer.
Carbon emission.
Carbon emission, correct. So he asked on carbon emission, and when he was ending his answer, Mr. Khattar says that, ये ठीक है. Now, अभी बाकी के जो समस्याएं हैं, हम और आप चाय पे बैठेंगे और इसको डिस्कस करेंगे. So Mr. Birla had to tell him that, Mr. Khattar, आप नए हैं तो आपको बता दूं, आपका जो उत्तर है वो your answer stays as is. ये चाय वाय की बात आपको करने की जरूरत नहीं है. And I died laughing because of that, because it was genuinely so funny, not just because the fact that Om Birla was looking at somebody from the treasury benches with equal seriousness, because when it comes to there are images on the internet.
Manish Tiwari bhi has rahe the.
Manish Tiwari is also laughing.
See, that is the beauty of our parliament. I remember Sushma Swaraj. She used to pull Kamal Nath and all that, and it used to be so beautiful movement because nobody felt bad, nobody felt irritated, nobody fought against each other, nobody even commented against it. It was so beautiful. It was a beautiful movement that spoke about.
Banter bhi hua tha between Manmohan Singh ji and Sushma Swaraj.
What a beautiful banter.
Manmohan Singh ji माना के तेरे दीद के काबिल नहीं हूँ. मेरा शौक तो मेरा शौक तो देख, मेरा इंतजार तो देख.
क्या बात है.
So Jash is not only he's not a political junkie, he's also a part-time shire.
Yeah.
He's memorizing this. But another question.
No, 1 second. Before that, I am surprised. Today is a red letter day. We should note today's date down. We should, because have you seen Shashank quiet for?
This was my next question. Shashank has
been quiet for 6 minutes.
6 minutes.
Either he's unwell.
Parliament के जैसे bench पर जानी चाहिए.
नहीं, but Shashank, Prime Minister इतना vulnerable आपने Mr. Modi को, have you ever seen Mr. Modi? Because I feel he's clearly vulnerable. It's after 4th of June you could clearly make out in his body language that he's not the same Narendra Modi that you used to see of 303 seats of 350 NDA and all that. You see a slightly vulnerable PM Modi. So there have been 2 sessions of Parliament so far. The second one is ongoing. How do you see the Prime Minister in लोक सभा?
इसमें ऐसा है कि गुजरात में भी जब वो मुख्यमंत्री थे 3 टर्म, तो उन्होंने हमेशा थम्पिंग मेजोरिटी की ही सरकार चलाई है. इवन पीएम बने तो 2 बार थम्पिंग मेजोरिटी को. तो वो पावर जब कम नजर आता है सामने, और आज एनडीए के साथ वो बंद, जब से एनडीए की सरकार बोली जा रही है, मोदी सरकार, ये हमने सुनना बंद कर दिया, तो कहीं ना कहीं वो इफेक्ट हो सकता है. और साथ ही साथ अब विपक्ष भी उतना स्ट्रांग हो गया है. और मतलब मैं सुजीत जी से जानना चाहूंगा कि क्या ऐसा हो सकता है कि आने वाले समय में वो आना, जिस तरीके से प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस कॉन्फ्रेंस उन्होंने बंद कर दी है, उसके तरीके से पार्लियामेंट में आना कम ना कर दे, ऐसा ना
नहीं, ऐसा क्यों बोल रहे हो? पहले भी कहाँ पे पार्लियामेंट पे
Parliament,
he would never come to parliament. See, the point is, there are two things that I think that is going to happen. If Shashank, you ask me that question seriously, I will let her better check. Yeah, the point is, I think two things that's going to happen on a serious note is, one is, I think what Shashank said made a lot of sense. Narendra Modi has never worked in a situation where he didn't have numbers. Narendra Modi always worked. He came from a position of strength. He dominates. He enjoys the position of strength. You see, he is not an Atal Bihari Vajpayee who can take people along, who can draw consensus, who could take somebody's advice, who could run a team. He cannot run a team. You know, जहाँ से हम खड़े रहते हैं, line वहाँ से चालू होती है. That's the way he works. Okay, so the point is, this is the first disadvantage that Narendra Modi has, and it's clearly showing on his face, the way he is conducting himself, and almost the desperation that he is showing in front of the press, where he's saying that मुझे बात तक करने नहीं दिया,
my voice was stifled.
My voice was stifled at all, because he is never used to getting stifled. He is used to stifling others. So that is the.
And Sujit is speaking from experience. So stifling in more ways than one. But I have an impromptu question. I think everyone can answer this. If you look at the India alliance,
Shashank should answer it.
Everyone can answer one by one. 234 MPs is what the India alliance has. If you have to pick one opposition leader's speech that really stood out for you in the special session, right from Rahul Gandhi to now, within the last big speech was, I think, Abhishek Banerjee. So Akhilesh Yadav has also spoken. There's several opposition MPs who have spoken. So who's that one opposition leader whose speech you think really stood out and put across their point? Saniya, I'll start with you.
Yeah, so I'll pick two, sorry. For me, the second one is Abhishek Banerjee. Recently that happened. I heard his speech and it was really good. And I heard it on our channel, basically, the special part he has put on the channel.
मैंने ही डाला था.
हाँ, Jash ने डाला था वो part. So we also got so
Good, so Saniya watches us.
Yes, one viewer guaranteed. One viewer guaranteed.
और अगर मैं सबसे पहले पिक करूंगी तो जिस दिन फर्स्ट पार्लियामेंट सेशन हुआ था या फिर सेकंड, आई डोंट रिमेम्बर क्लियरली, तभी अखिलेश यादव ने ओम बिरला को टॉन्ट किया, मारा था कि आप अगर अनबायस्ड रहेंगे तो वो बहुत अच्छा रहेगा, समथिंग लाइक दैट ही सेड. सो या आई विल पिक दीस टू.
Jash?
मैं राहुल गांधी चूज नहीं करूंगा क्योंकि उसमें बहुत फैलेसीज बहुत सारी थी वहां पे. अपने राजनाथ सिंह जी को भी खड़े होके बहुत कुछ बोलना पड़ा था. मैं अभिषेक बैनर्जी का स्पीच बोलूंगा कि बहुत, क्योंकि उसको पीछे से मवा मोइत्रा का भी ट्रेनिंग था, बहुत सारे टीएमसी में अच्छे अच्छे ओरेटर्स है ऑलरेडी. तो मेरे को लगता है उसको बहुत बताया गया है कि आप ऐसे बोला जाता है, पार्लियामेंट में स्पीच ऐसे दी जाती है, और बहुत अच्छा स्पीच दिया था उन्होंने. एक लाइन बोला था उन्होंने कि आई डू नॉट बो टू द पीपल इन पावर, आई बो टू द पावर ऑफ द पीपल. वो बहुत एक अच्छी
गुड लाइन है.
पार्लियामेंट में यूजुअली ऐसी लाइंस सुनते तो जनता को भी अच्छा लगता है. तो मेरे हिसाब से अभिषेक बैनर्जी. Sujit,
No, I still think the best is yet to come. I don't think
so far.
Yeah, so far I am not. See, like Jash and I, we were working on an editorial where we were talking about what is our expectation. You see, if you limit your expectation to whatever we have heard, then that is not right. I think that is not fair. I think I expect much more. I expect much more. Why only from the opposition? I am also talking about the government. I am expecting this parliament. I am expecting fabulous oratory. I'm expecting fabulous content. Forget oratory. Oratory is one end of it. I'm talking about content. I think a strong government and a strong opposition, like I said, India has not seen for a long time. And since we are seeing one, I think everybody will come prepared. See, the best thing about a tough match is that every ball is a good ball and every shot is a good shot. You see, that's the advantage of watching a tough match when there are two tough teams playing, because nobody is going to give that loose ball or nobody is going to make that stupid shot. Okay, so that's what I'm expecting out of this parliament also. Every speech I want it to be better. And I still think Rahul Gandhi's speech was not bad. Abhishek Banerjee's speech was not bad. I think even Pranati Shinde's speech.
Yes.
Let's not forget that first time MP. You see, you need to understand, you're standing in the parliament, is your first time, and then you're giving a speech. It's not an easy job.
Right.
See, Jash, one more thing I want to tell you. See, oratoryship is something that you don't learn. Oratoryship is natural. Either you have it in you or you don't have it in you.
थोड़ी देर पहले हम वाजपेयी जी के बारे में बात कर रहे थे.
बिल्कुल.
He had that flair.
बिल्कुल. You know, Vajpayee, when he was a young MP, Nehru had told him that ये एक दिन प्रधानमंत्री बनेगा. क्या सुन के बोला था? उनके oratory सुन के. What he said. So oratory is something that is there. You are born with it, or you don't have it. Okay, so that's the thing. So maybe Abhishek Banerjee did have that oratory skill. Maybe he was clouded with such stars like that. Also is a problem. You have stars like Mahua Mohitra. You have stars like Sagrika Ghosh is latest. But then Derek O'Brien. These are stalwarts उनके साथ खड़े रह के एक स्पीच देना और फिर वो उसको नोटिस करवाना. I think that's a fantastic achievement.
Okay, so you're saying the best is yet to come. Like
I think the best is.
सर आप किससे एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हो?
I don't know. That's not fair. Because see, I am expecting. I want to see. I will be the most happiest person if I see a new MP coming and cracking that parliament. You know what that means? That means your parliament, your democracy is vibrant. That means, you have solid things to look forward from this democracy. That is what it means. So I am actually hoping that a young MP comes and cracks it. Don't care which party, don't care which side, the treasury or the opposition. I believe somebody, if they can, that's what I am expecting. And also the fact that the more people talk about the real things, the real problems, farmers, agriculture, tax, unemployment, health, other than talking about Ram, Hindutva, Muslim, other than all of that, if you talk on real...
ये सर हमने शपथ के टाइम पे बहुत देखा था.
हाँ, correct.
स्लोगनरिंग हुआ था आफ्टर द ओथ. काफी लोगों ने, मुस्लिम एमपीज ने अपने भगवान का नाम लिया, हिंदू एमपीज ने अपने भगवान, कोई पैलेस्टाइन के बारे में बात कर. आपका क्या पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू है सर इस पे?
See, absolutely ridiculous. Because see, the point is when you are coming to parliament, the biggest oath that you can take is that of the constitution. Because this is the temple of the constitution. You are worshipping the constitution there. And the fact that each of us are equal there is because we all worship, we are all under the constitution. You see, you talk about your, state ke bare mein chillana ya, that gentleman from Asaduddin Owaisi,
yes.
Palestine. What Palestine? What are you talking about? This is India, dude. I mean, you are in the Indian parliament. What are you talking about Palestine here? And why are you talking about Palestine here? And secondly, I may agree to him, I may not agree to him in terms of what he said, but what is the occasion? You see, this entire thing about spiking and using, these controversial things to spike an audience or to appease an audience, especially in a constitutional forum, in a constitutional occasion. It was like I said, it's a temple of democracy. And you were taking oath on that democracy. कहाँ पर आप लेके जा रहे हो इसको यार? कहाँ पर लेके जा रहे हो? कहाँ पर आप इसको mix कर रहे हो? That's the point.
Shashank, last question का आंसर नहीं दिया.
मुझे लगता है कि राहुल गांधी का जो पहला भाषण था, जो स्पेशल सेशन में हमने सुना, मुझे लगता है, मैं शायद आप लोग इससे डिसएग्री करेंगे, मैं तो समझता हूँ
डिसएग्री करता हूँ फिर.
नहीं, मैं समझता हूँ कि
पहले डिस्क्लेमर क्योंकि पहले से डिसएग्री कर.
नहीं, ऐसा नहीं, मैं कह रहा हूँ कि मुझे लगता है कि ये राहुल गांधी का वन ऑफ द बेस्ट भाषण है. मुझे लगता है क्योंकि एक तो जिस समय पे राहुल गांधी बोलते हैं, आपने वो माहौल देखा होगा कि उस समय पे इतना डिस्टर्बेंस उनको होता है. द मोमेंट ही स्टैंड्स अप, उनको डिस्टर्ब करना शुरू कर देते. उस माहौल में बोलना सबसे बड़ी बात है. पहले तो वो जब बोले, नेता विपक्ष के रूप में बोले, एज ए लीडर ऑफ द इंडिया अलायंस बोले, वो कांग्रेस के नेता के रूप में नहीं बोले, वो एक चीज. फिर उनको एक तरीके से जो मतलब बहुत गलत चीज है ये कि जो एक तरीके से ट्रोल आर्मी करती है, वो मोदी जी ने करने का ट्राई किया वहां पे, कि उनको एंटी हिंदू बताने का ट्राई किया। लेकिन राहुल गांधी वहां पे सकम नहीं हुए, वो उन्होंने जवाब दिया कि नहीं, मैं आरएसएस को बोल रहा हूँ, मैं मोदी को बोल रहा हूँ, मैं पूरे हिंदू को नहीं बोल रहा हूँ। और जिस तरीके से उन्होंने पूरा ठीक है, आप ये बोल सकते हैं फैक्चुअली कुछ चीजें यहाँ वहाँ हो सकती है अग्निवीर को लेके, उसके बाद वहां पे बहुत डिबेट, उस पर मैं नहीं जाना चाहूंगा, लेकिन जिस अंदाज से वो बोले मुझे लगता है कि बहुत बढ़िया था वो।
Actually, I partially agree with Shashank. I wouldn't say it's the best speech of Rahul Gandhi or anything of that sort, but I think that speech I think he was one of the first few opposition leaders to get up and speak in the Lok Sabha for the first time after the results, because the special session, I think the oath taking and everything else was a formality. It was really the show of strength. Everybody was flexing their muscles. India Alliance was there at 240. You had the NDA who just cobbled up an alliance with Mr. Nitish Kumar and Chandrababu Naidu. They were there. But I think in Rahul's speech, the message that was being tried to put across is that he's setting the tone for the India Alliance to follow, because he took up the post of LOP. I mean, it's a lot of chatter. Will he take up the LOP post? Will he not? Eventually, when he does, I think through the speech, what he has successfully managed to do, and Sujit, you and I did a live where we compared both Mr. Modi's speech and Mr. Rahul Gandhi's speech. And it was amply clear that as leader of opposition, Rahul Gandhi has managed to start on the front foot. It became absolutely and abundantly clear that the opposition is not going to take any of this, what we saw in the last 10 years, lying down. This is their time to speak up. And Rahul Gandhi, I believe, sort of led that way as far as speeches in the parliament is concerned. And yes, like you said, I would like to see a first time MP to sort of go through the ranks, and a woman MP. I would like to see that, who would, regardless of the BJP or the opposition MPs, a woman MP getting up, making a strong, something like Mahua Moitra did. In 2019, she was the first time MP from Krishnanagar. She enters Lok Sabha. I think in the first session itself, she made this roaring speech and everybody started talking about her. So I think that is something that I will be really looking forward to going ahead. But until that, what Rahul Gandhi's speech, I think, sort of set the tone as to how the India Alliance will go forward with these numbers.
You know, when you speak about Rahul Gandhi, let me tell you something. You know, it's a very weird example, but I'll tell you. West Indies used to produce few of the best fast bowlers in the world. You know why they would produce the best fast bowlers in the world? Because they would practice in the beaches. They practice their cricket in the beach. So what really happens is, for a ball to rise in a beach, you really need to have very tough arms. Because otherwise the ball, it's very difficult to bounce the ball in the beach.
Sand पे bounce.
So, yes. So, because they would bounce the ball in the beach, they had tough arms. And when they actually went out and bowled to the batsman in the grass, that speed was amazing. That speed would be absolutely amazing. You see, I'll tell you the parallel that I'm trying to draw. Shashank is giving me strange stares.
Because it's not on camera, we can't see those stares. The audience can't see the stares.
Exactly.
सुन रहा था
Yeah. So, you know what the point that I'm trying to make? The point that I'm trying to make is, Rahul Gandhi is one leader who has seen the maximum amount of trolls in his life. Nobody, no Indian leader, no Indian politician has seen the kind of trolls that Rahul Gandhi has seen. Rahul Gandhi has combated the maximum criticism in this, possibly in the world. Forget about India. In the world, no other political leader has seen the kind of criticism. See, Rahul Gandhi has been made out of fire, literally. He has played in that sand. Now Rahul Gandhi को कोई heckle करना, shout करना, howl करना, मुझे नहीं लगता कोई फर्क होगा. He'll have no problem, because the man has seen it. The man has seen it. Now you would require some out of the world experience to push down Rahul Gandhi, because he's seen the worst. Modi is ulta, directly reverse. Modi has only heard Modi. That's all what he has heard. He has never heard the kind of heckle. He has never heard the kind of trolls that he has never heard the kind of criticisms, personal criticism that would go hurt you right below the belt. You know, that kind of criticism. Modi has never heard it. So Modi now is perplexed. Modi is the person that really needs help now, because he is the one who will get this kind of troll with this kind of opposition in the
Parliament.
assembly, in the in the assembly, so in the parliament. My apologies. So that's what I say. So when I said that I am not seen, I think the best is yet to come, is because I know that there are some few stalwarts who are there, sitting there. Okay, and I still think that they are yet to fire, and when they fire, that will be what we need to really look forward to. I think those will be the one thing. And another thing, before we call it a day, let me tell you, I want to make a prediction today. And believe me, we never predict, I know, but I'm still going to predict, because since it is a podcast, let me do that. I think the first bunch of people who are going to go against this entire India alliance, which is flying high now, is going to be the Trinamool Congress. Trinamool Congress will be the first group to kind of possibly either switch sides, switch alliance, switch priorities, switch. That's what's going to happen. That's what I predict.
आज भी नीति आयोग की मीटिंग में बाकी सभी जो इंडिया अलायंस के मेंबर्स हैं उन्होंने बॉयकॉट किया.
Correct.
Mamata Banerjee went for that meeting.
So that's something that we will leave. That is a thought that I would like to leave behind in today's discussion.
So interesting. So Trinamool Congress is what Sujit is predicting, that the Mamata Banerjee led party, that the obstacle, what do you want to call it? The obstacle for the India alliance?
No. This flying high of India alliance today, or the opposition today, is flying high. It's at its maximum power at the moment.
Fair.
And the one party that may pull down India alliance is
that could be
Banerjee. And the parties that may pull down the government, possibly could be another internal uprising in Bharatiya Janata Party, or maybe one of those alliances that they have. But here it is very clearly Trinamool Congress, because Trinamool Congress, I don't think, is a steady partner in any alliance, and including India alliance.
Okay, interesting. So should we call it a day, or should we look at one more topic then? We can.
You are the host.
Okay, we think we can do one more topic quickly. That is, I think, the union budget. This was the week where Nirmala Sitharaman, the finance minister, tabled her 7th consecutive budget as finance minister, and the first of the NDA government. I don't want to get into the finesse and details of it. I think I've just recorded a conversation with Santosh Mehrotra, who's a professor and he's a well-known economist. We'll get that conversation out. But Sujit, I think the question, and Shashank, Jash, Saniya, everyone can come in. Since the time I've been growing up, what I've been listening to on budget day is this key, humko kya mila, as in, what does the common man, the common middle class get? That, I think, in that 2-hour ka speech, that 5 minutes where she talks about middle class and reducing their burden, etc. comes. So this year also I have the same question, except for changing that tax slabs a little bit here and there, some technicality that, okay, middle class will save 17,000 rupees a year. What does, Saniya or Jash, please feel free to come in, what does the common man get in this year's budget?
So I'll say is कि जब budget release हुआ था, तो we had ground reporting, and our team, हम लोग गए थे ground report करने के लिए. So we were asking people question about this budget. Firstly, the people from the middle class section, उन लोगों ने तो पहले मुझे बोला कि मैडम बजट रिलीज हुआ है, बट पता नहीं क्या हुआ है, हमें क्या फर्क पड़ेगा उससे, क्या मिलेगा. And luckily I got one interview, and regarding that interview, the person was talking about the tax slab. तो tax slab I have seen कि 3 लाख से 7 लाख जो कमा रहा है, उसके ऊपर 5% उसको पे करना है. तो अगर समझिए कि a person is earning ₹3 lakh and if he's paying 5% tax on that, वो खाएगा क्या, कमाएगा क्या, और खर्च क्या करेगा. So I got that answer, and people are not very happy with that. So yeah.
No, there is a standard deduction of 7.5 lakhs.
So, The standard is 70,000 rupees.
70,000.
It was 50,000 rupees earlier.
Yeah, so
Now
standard
it's
it is 70,000
bucks.
70,000.
70,000 is the new standard. 70
Yeah.
or 75,000, I think.
75,000,
Yeah,
I think,
75,000.
and that is for the. So annually it will be.
I'm not good with maths.
Yeah, so annually it will be around 8.5
Yeah.
lakhs, roughly. So,
Roughly.
Yeah, so see, I think, yeah, you want to say something?
Just
सर मैं जब ये बजट रिलीज हो रहा था मैं ट्विटर पे स्क्रॉल कर रहा था मैंने मतलब एक बहुत मस्त मीम देखा था तो उसमें क्या था वो सब लोग बोल रहे थे कि आंध्रा और बिहार बजट है और आंध्रा और बिहार को सब कुछ मिला है ऐसे तो उसमें एक मध्य प्रदेश का एक मैप था और उसमें एक सैड इंसान का फोटो फेस था और लिखा था कि जो सबसे ज्यादा प्यार करता है उसके साथ ऐसा ही और एमपी शायद एक ऐसा स्टेट है नहीं है ऐसे लेकिन एमपी बीइंग अ वेरी बिग स्टेट पूरा अनकंडीशनल सपोर्ट बीजेपी को दिया बट मध्य प्रदेश को इतना कुछ मिला ही नहीं और मेरे हिसाब से वो मतलब एक ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए था कि आंध्रा बिहार बजट के बदले अगर आप ओवर सब स्पेक्ट्रम में देखते महाराष्ट्र के फार्मर के बारे में
yes.
डिफरेंट इश्यूज देखते स्टेट्स के और वो हिसाब से अगर आप पैसा बांटते
नहीं बट उसका काउंटर आर्ग्यूमेंट ये जस्ट आई थिंक समथिंग द फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर आल्सो सेड दैट look when I'm presenting the budget as the finance minister of India. Yes, I spoke about Andhra Pradesh and she gave her reasons, although somebody would be living in a fool's paradise if you don't know why Andhra and Bihar got the mention that they did, because essentially they are two critical partners of the NDA. Both Nitish and Chandrababu Naidu, if they pull out, this government collapses straight away. So you could figure that out. But she said, look, for other measures like flood mitigation, I mentioned Assam, I mentioned Himachal Pradesh, which is a Congress-ruled state. And just because I haven't talked about a state doesn't mean that that state is not getting anything. So
then we might as well no. Then see, then this argument is holds no water, Shubham. Shubham, see, you say that she spoke, and she said that she spoke like a finance minister of India. No, she spoke like a finance minister of Bharatiya Janata Party. Please understand, because she spoke about parties which Bharatiya Janata Party has to benefit. Bharatiya Janata Party needs TDP. She spoke about Andhra Pradesh. Bharatiya Janata Party needs JDU. So she spoke about Bihar. She didn't speak like the finance minister of India. Number one. Number two. You see, you acknowledge Assam floods. You acknowledge Himachal Pradesh. You acknowledge Maharashtra. That's it. That's it. So you are supposed to assume that everything is done. So we are all good. Acha, then in that case, everybody cannot say everything in the speech. Yes, of course, everybody cannot say everything in the speech. So don't have a speech. Yeah, put it up in the website, and we'll all go and check in the website. You see, the point is what is the core expectation from a finance minister? The core expectation from a finance minister is to say that, listen, you know what? Maharashtra farmers are dying. So therefore, I'm doing this. Assam floods have devastated people in Assam. So therefore, I'm doing this. Manipur has gone through hell in the last couple of years. So I'm doing this. This is what I'm expecting. And then you can say the rest of India, okay, I'm doing this. I can understand. Then the finance minister can stand and say that the places where there are issues, I've spoken about them. And therefore, I'm the finance minister of India. I will not talk about Kashmir, Kanyakumari, Punjab, Haryana. नहीं बोलूँगा मैं. ठीक है. I spoke about issues.
Correct.
Here, what was the current massive issue of Andhra Pradesh? What was the current massive issue of...
essentially, they had to cater to Nitish's
So then what are we talking about? Finance Minister of India, and I'm going to talk about Finance Minister of India, so I will talk about some states, I will not speak about... That's number one. Number two is you are saying that Andhra Pradesh, and after the division of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, which I said in my editorial also, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, you are saying that... we have to support Andhra Pradesh. See, end of the day, support any state of India. We are happy. We are Indians. Who will not be? It is our state. You support any state. We are very happy. But the point is, if you are supporting Andhra Pradesh, why not Telangana? Divided to those states hua tha na?
Correct.
Okay, the division happened between Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Andhra Pradesh is the 9th richest, Telangana is the 10th richest. 8th and 9th. Sorry, Andhra Pradesh is the 8th richest, Telangana is the 10th richest state in the country. Okay, so you are not talking some impoverished state. You are talking about state which is doing well, and God bless, let them do well, let them do better. But the point is, if you are so concerned about Andhra Pradesh, which you are and should be, you should also be concerned about Telangana. Why are you not talking about Telangana? Isn't that strange? Andhra Pradesh lost its capital? No, Andhra Pradesh didn't. Andhra Pradesh has got Hyderabad. So does Telangana. Chandigarh is the capital of Haryana and Punjab. So these are not things which are just happening for the first time in this country. The point that I am trying to make is, let us be very clear and let us understand that this budget was a political budget. It was catering to a political need rather than the need of this country. I am not saying that therefore the finance minister has not taken cognizance to a lot of things. He has. There is a lot of announcement, all of that, but nothing spectacular, nothing that changes the world, nothing that is, that is making going to be a life changer and all of that. वो सब नहीं है. Unfortunately, one more thing I want to say. Since we are talking, let us talk full. Unfortunately, one more thing we want to say. You see, the difference between what in my younger days, if I may say that, in my younger days, industry leaders had the spine to speak, to talk factual about a budget. So if a budget was not good, industry leaders had the spine to come and say that, nay, this budget is not good for us. Unfortunately, here I am ashamed to see industry leaders coming and speaking, because each of them, they have a script which is ready. So whatever the budget is, regardless of what the budget is, most of the industry leaders will come and say, oh, it was a great budget. It is very good for investment. It is look very good for growth. It is sad, and that is why we ensured in our channel, we didn't call one industry representative. Okay, we didn't, because it is because they don't have the guts to come out and say that, listen, it is wrong. And off the record, they will abuse. That also, let me tell you. They will abuse. Let my viewers know this. They will abuse off the record. But the moment the camera is on, the budget is very good. It is good for the growth. What are you representing? And it is so sad that we have come to a stage where we don't have the guts to speak what we feel is right.
I think it's a reflection. Just before I come back to Shashank, I think it's a reflection of the times, Sujit, that you spoke about. When you go off camera, you start bitching. This is bad. This is this is something that should have been done. But I think it's a sad reflection of not just business leaders. Otherwise, also when you look at that's another topic for podcast. Something that we'll discuss about. The ability to express yourself freely. And I think the budget, somewhere down the line, it reminds me of that meme and that speech of Mr. Ramdas Athavale, where every year the same speech used. 5 years back, 6 years back, there was a reporter who met Mr. Athavale outside Parliament. She put a boom. This was on camera. For our viewers, listeners, please go and...
Rajya Sabha TV ka anchor.
So for my viewers, listeners, please go and watch that speech. It is something that happens every year, and the best part about that meme is it doesn't change, because that's something that happens every year. Which Sujit says that you ask them how was the budget, they're reading out of a script. In that meme as well.
No, but there's a difference. Here, earlier it was not like that. You see, I remember top industry leaders going against Manmohan Singh. I remember that categorically. But those were days. But now, no.
When dissent was a thing.
When dissent was a thing, when you could speak your heart out, I guess. Now, no. Now they're scared.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Sorry,
yes.
नहीं, ये मैं समझ रहा हूँ कि टीडीपी और जेडीयू, जैसा कि आपने कहा कि बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट एनडीए में पार्टनर्स है, बट उसके बाद फिर शिवसेना, जो एकनाथ शिंदे की शिवसेना है, वो थर्ड नंबर पे आती है. बीजेपी, फिर जो टीडीपी, जेडीयू, एंड देन फिर शिंदे की शिवसेना. तो क्यों फिर महाराष्ट्र को अपना ड्यू नहीं मिल रहा?
सिंपल सी बात है. See, the fact remains that does Eknath Shinde have a choice?
लेकिन चुनाव भी
Eknath Shinde will go and support Congress? What will Eknath Shinde do? Eknath Shinde doesn't have a choice. Eknath Shinde is completely dependent on BJP, and BJP knows it. TDP has a choice. JDU has a choice. So JDU can ask walk out of NDA, and JDU can walk out of NDA anytime, because he is so used to walking out that it is like a second nature to him. So he can walk out of NDA anytime. But that being said, he can walk out. TDP can walk out. So that's the point. What will Eknath Shinde walk out to? Where will Eknath Shinde go?
I think election time he'll not walk out anywhere. He will stay there. He'll have to
he doesn't have a choice.
He doesn't. Yeah, his hands are tied. Everything is yes.
Because NDA is not. India Alliance is not going to compromise on Uddhav Thackeray, UBT. They are the top parties of. They are the founder members of India Alliance. So where is Eknath Shinde going to walk into?
Right.
That's the problem.
I think we can end on that note that Maharashtra, I think this is a topic we'll keep coming back to. A, because it's our home state, we love talking about it, even in the newsroom. And we will have a lot of guests about it. But on the budget front, I think two visuals that sum up the budget for me. A, the Ramdas Atavale meme I was talking about. This is a very nice budget. This is a very good budget. This caters to everyone. And the second is when the finance minister is speaking and the camera pans to all other member of parliament, you can see everybody sleeping. No one is there awake listening to the budget to understand what is the money that everyone is getting, what is really happening. So I think on that note, we will end this episode of Newsroom Charcha. Thank you, Jash. Thank you, Saniya. Thank you, Sujit. Thank you, Shashank sir. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद हमसे जुड़ने के लिए और इन विषयों पर बात करने के लिए. To our viewers and to our listeners, we will be back. We should be back next week. We will be back. We will record another podcast. We will get some other members of our newsroom as well to discuss what has been the biggest issue of that week. Thank you so much for listening. This is Shubham Chohan signing off.